I know that if you're watching this video, you are not happy with your sales results. And whether it's because either you haven't even been able to get an offer, or maybe you have an offer, but you're just never number one on the leaderboards, I am gonna tell you why. And if you're anything like me, you know, like in your mind, I feel like I'm destined for more. And you might have even told yourself all the lies like, oh, maybe I'm just not made for sales. Maybe it's just not cut out for me. Those people over there that are succeeding, they're different than who I am. They're not human. But here's the truth of it. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
The truth is, you just don't know what you don't know. It is as simple as that. So in this video, I am gonna change that for you because I'm gonna give you the exact sales script that allowed me to go from $0 to $15,000 a month in commissions at 16 years old while in school. And it's the exact same script that I use even to this day. That last month allowed me to make $220,000 profit through sales on the month that I turned 18. Now I know realistically, if you're watching this video, you've probably tried everything. You've probably tried all the people you see online that are objection handling live on these clips. You probably tried all the people who apparently run $100 million a year companies, which is completely bullshit. And I know because me alongside my business partner ran the biggest one, ranked on the Inc. 500. You've probably tried all the cheesy closing lines. You've probably tried all of it. But the issue is you just weren't using techniques that are well suited for today's sales. You were using techniques that worked on prospects of the past. You see, the biggest issue I see in this industry is there are all these people that are 30, 40, 50 years old trying to teach sales. But if you really ask yourself, think about a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old that you know in your life right now. And then think about your best friend that's your same age. Do they act the same? Hell no. Gen Z people are probably the weirdest fucking people ever to exist in this world in the best way possible. And they're just so different. If I even think about me versus my parents, the way they act, completely different to the way that I act. And so why would you think that trying to sound like those 40 or 50-year-olds is somehow gonna allow you to sell better when you're completely different to any of them? Because if you hear somebody going, has that had an impact on you? And you think copying that somehow is gonna make you phenomenal at sales, it's not, because humans are the best at detecting when people aren't actually being their authentic self. And if somebody realizes on a call that you're not being who you actually are, their guard's immediately gonna go up. You're not gonna be able to close the fucking door. But let's pretend maybe that's not even you. Maybe you're listening to the people that you see the 20-year-old or 25-year-old on Instagram making objection videos, etc. And the issue with that is that 90% of them aren't even qualified to be speaking. They maybe had one good 30K commission month as a solo rep, left and decided to start a coaching business, somehow thinking that that makes them qualified to start teaching. And so that's exactly why me and my business partners decided to start the Impact Team on a mission to make real sales education accessible to everybody. Because my business partner Yash has made $120K a month in straight commission selling at 12% at the age of 18. I was personally the top rep at the largest B2C sales training company in the world, out collecting the rest of my team combined. And then together we ended up running that entire company to the highest revenue month they have ever had. And the key with that is that whenever we were getting all these new reps, because it's a big company, whenever we were getting all these new reps, we had to be able to train them up in 3 days, 5 days, immediately get them on the phones and start making sales. And so we couldn't use any of these complicated processes and everything else. And that's why we created the Impact Formula. And that is exactly what I'm gonna show you today. So watch this entire video and I promise you, you will leave it better at sales. So let's get into it. So the first stage in the process is called the intent stage. Now the purpose of the intent stage, two things. Number one, we wanna take the focus off of us and put it onto the prospect. Now the reason why is because whenever they're focusing on us, they're not idiots. They know we're salespeople. And so naturally it's gonna raise their guard. Nobody likes being sold to. But if we're able to put the focus on them and their goals, their problems, what they need, that's what allows us to have a more productive conversation. So that's the first aspect of it. The second aspect is we need an initial problem to be able to focus on. And so here's how we're gonna do that. We start by just being like, hey, can you hear me? Can you see me? Yeah, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Very, very casual. We'll pretend it's a fitness offer, by the way, so I'll give you examples of a fitness offer, and then I'll also show you how to tailor it to other offers, just because fitness is very universal, very, very solid. Then we just go, cool, man, well, it looks like you booked a time out like possible help with kind of like losing some weight, getting in better shape. How can I help, man? Now, right here, they're gonna be like, oh, well, I'm looking for like a better diet plan. Now, if they give us a good answer like that, we can skip straight here. But let's imagine they're just like, oh yeah, like I'm just trying to lose weight, like something very generic. Then we go, okay, what do you feel like you need help with in specific? Like in order to actually like lose that weight, get in better shape, all that jazz, right? The goal is right here, we're trying to get a tangible. What is a tangible? A tangible is a goal in the future. That is it. It's really a goal in the future. So I need a better diet plan, that's a goal. I need a better workout regime, that's a goal. I need to grow my business, that's a goal. I want more revenue, that's a goal. That's all we need, then we move on. Well, what have you seen that makes you feel like, I guess you don't have a better diet plan? Oh, well, like right now, like I just feel like my nutrition, I'm not really able to lose the weight, etc. That gives us an experience. Now, what is an experience? The definition of experience is a problem in the past. It's that simple. I haven't been able to lose weight, that's a problem in the past. I'm not getting enough leads, that's a problem in the past. I'm not able to be as profitable as I want, that's a problem in the past. My P&L isn't as good as it needs to be, that's a problem in the past. So all of these things are problems in the past or present That's all we're looking for from an experience. From there, we move on to logical certainty. Now, logical certainty has 3 steps. Number 1, the root cause. Number 2, the problem. And number 3, we expand and probe on the problem to actually make the problem seem a lot bigger. Now, what's the point of the root cause section? The point of the root cause is because if you can get somebody to understand the actual process they have in place now, the strategy, so that could be a diet plan, it could be a workout regime, it could be their lead generation system, it could be their current sales script that they have in place. All of these different things are just their current process, their system. And if we can get them to associate that process, that system that they have in place now with the problems that they're getting, what does that do to them psychologically? I have this process, it causes this problem, therefore I want to move away from that process. And guess what you're selling them at that? A new process. So that benefits you. It makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? So let's start with the root cause section. Well, what are you doing for your fitness regime that's, I guess, like not allowing you to lose the weight? Oh, well, like I go for walks a couple times a week. My wife cooks me meals, whatever. And how long have you been using that approach for? Oh, well, it's been like 2 years. And what kind of caused you to, I guess, like use that approach? Now, the key is right here, we need to use a skeptical tone when we're asking this question. The best way to use a skeptical tone is we furrow our eyebrows, so we scrunch them, and we lean back a little bit. Well, what caused you to use that approach? Now, from here, we've gotten their entire process and what they've been doing. Now we go into the problem section. So here's how it goes. It's like, okay, do you like it? Like, I guess besides maybe not losing the weight you want to lose, like, do you like that approach you have in place like now though? If they say yes, we just go, oh, what do you like about it? If they say no, we're gonna force them into a yes. So we go, okay, a minute, like it can't be all terrible. Like you've been doing it for an entire year. Like, what do you like about it? Let's start there. Now, this is a very common question I get. Why do we do that right there? And the reason why is because in psychology, nobody likes feeling pain. That is a very, very well-known fact. So if we try getting pain out of somebody and we're just trying to uncover all these problems, they're gonna feel like we're very biased. Like all we care about is their issues. And again, since they know we're a salesperson, not a good mix. But if we get what they like first and then we go into the problem, it makes us sound extremely unbiased. It's like, okay, this guy genuinely wants to help me. Like it's more of like a consultation. That's what we're going for. Then after you have what they like, then it's like, okay, it doesn't sound like terrible then. I guess, is there anything you would change about either like the fitness regime itself or like the, I guess, results you've been getting from it specifically, like if you could though? So in here, you're just gonna plug in their current process. So it could be a lead generation system, it could be fitness regime, it could be their diet plan, it could be their sales script, it could be their strategy for growth, like it could be anything. Just whatever their process is, and then the result. All the stutters I'm doing, by the way, are extremely intentional. I stutter to make it sound like I'm actually thinking about the question, I'm formulating it as I speak. Because whenever I ask hard questions, if I stutter as I'm asking it, it's gonna make them feel like, damn, he's actually thinking, therefore this question must be more important, therefore I must give him a better answer. That's what I'm looking for. Now from here, they're gonna give us a problem. So let's say, for example, he was like, well, I just feel like I'm not losing the weight like fast enough. Well, what do you mean by that? Oh, well, I've only been losing like half a pound a month. It's not going as fast as I want to, especially with all the work that I'm putting in. And how long has that been going on for? To where you feel like I'm putting in all this work, like I'm really getting after it, but I'm just not losing the weight. Oh, well, it's been like about a year now. And like, I guess you putting in all the work, but not being able to lose the weight, and like, as a coach, I wanna understand, has that had an impact, I guess, on like your motivation to like actually keep going? Oh, well, yeah, because like I'm doing all this work and it's just not giving me the results, so like I just don't know what to do. Great. Now we've taken, number one, the root cause, their current process, attached it to the problem, and now we've expanded on that problem to really make them understand the change that they need to make. And once we've done all those things, now we can move into emotional certainty. Now, why do we have emotional certainty here? This is a very, very common question I get. The reason why, everybody in psychology knows about recency bias. Recency bias is the last thing you hear, is the thing you remember the most, and is the thing that has the biggest impact on the decisions that you actually make. So if you think about it, everybody knows the saying in sales, people buy on emotion and justify with logic. So if people buy on emotion, according to recency bias, I want to have the emotion as close as possible to the pitch, because that's going to have the biggest impact on the decision that they make. So that's why we have emotional certainty right after logical certainty. The other reason why is because if you try getting immediately onto a call and after 5 seconds you start asking about their deepest desires and ambitions and consequences and all these other things, they're not going to open up with you. But at this point in the call, now we've built enough trust to where they're able to actually open up with us and we get the results that we need out of the stage. So there's 3 parts to emotional certainty. Number 1 is the pre-handling objections and identity shift. Number 2 is the future pace. And number 3 is the consequence. Now, the reason I only wrote future pace here is because you can future pace positive, which is more of like a dream state, and then you can future pace negative, which is otherwise known as a consequence, right? So how do we actually do this? What questions do we ask? So let's get into it. Okay, and just so I see your point of view, but I guess like besides like not losing the weight as fast as you want to, what's kind of the main reasoning of looking for, I guess, like more of like that advanced help so you can actually like lose the weight faster rather than just kind of like doubling down on like what you've been doing, like going for walks a couple times a week, trying to figure it out like the average person kind of does? Oh, well, because like, I mean, it hasn't been working, so I know something needs to change. So the point of this question is we're getting them to understand, we're preempting the do-it-yourself objection. So one of the most common objections in sales is like, you know what, I think I'll figure it out. Like I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing now, whatever. And so here we're preempting them. We're getting them to admit, oh, I cannot just keep doing what I'm doing now because it's not working. Then we go to, okay, and so I guess like in regards to that, like before you and I were speaking, were you kind of out there looking for, I guess, like other ways to possibly like get more of that advanced help so you could lose the weight faster? Or like, what were we actually doing about that? Now here, I'm gonna pull up a whiteboard to explain this to you guys because I think this will be helpful. So this question is a binary. So they can either say no or yes. We'll start with no and then we'll go into yes. So if we're like, before you and I were speaking, were you looking for like, I guess a way to get more of that advanced help to actually like lose the weight, or like, what were you actually doing about that? No, I wasn't looking. Why not, man? What prevented you? Now to this question, what are they gonna give us? They're gonna tell us the objection. What prevented them? I didn't have enough time. I didn't have enough money, my partner, whatever it was, right? They're gonna give us the objection. Now from here, as soon as we've gone that objection, now we just have to pre-handle. So the way we pre-handle is we go, let's pretend they were like, oh, I shouldn't have the time. Well, what shifted for you now then, man? That I guess has you looking for like more of that advanced help, like if your time kind of prevented you in the past. Oh, well, at work, I don't have as many hours that I need to work anymore, so I have a little bit more time. Great, now we've pre-handled the objection. That's all we need. Let's pretend they were like, oh, well, it's the money that prevented me. So what shifted for you now then, man? That has you looking for, I guess, like a way to get more of like that advanced help, like if the finances kind of prevented you in the past. Oh, well, you know what? I got a raise at work, so like it's a lot easier for me financially now. Like now I could actually commit to something. Great, now we've pre-handled the objection. Now, that's if they say no. Let's pretend they said yes. We need to put them into another binary. So here's how we do it. We go, okay, man, like, what did you actually end up like doing about it? Did you end up like moving forward with something, or what kind of happened? Now again, here they can go either no or yes. I didn't draw this very well. But let's pretend they go, no, I didn't end up moving forward with anything. Again, why not, man? What prevented you? Oh, well, it's just objection. Great, now we have an objection. So now we have to pre-handle it. So what shifted for you now then? That I guess has you looking for like more of that advanced help, like if XYZ objection prevented you in the past. Because guess what? Whatever objection they gave in the past to changing is the same objection they would give you on this call, in this interaction, that would prevent them from actually achieving what they want. So we need to pre-handle that as soon as possible. Now, let's pretend they said yes. Now we need to create another binary, right? So here they're like, yeah, I did move forward with something. So now the binary option is, did they get a bad result or did they get a good result? If they say I got a bad result, then we just go, okay, man, so I guess like what would you need to see in something this time to be able to be like, yeah, I think this could actually get me results, even though in the past I didn't get results from it. Because now what are they gonna tell us? Oh, well, I need to see more communication. I need to see better support. I would need to see a more in-depth plan, whatever it is. And whatever they tell us right there is the exact thing we have to add into our pitch, our presentation at the end, which is gonna be the last stage, which I'll speak about in a second, that is gonna give them the confidence of like, okay, this actually works. Now I can buy, right? So there, we just pre-handled it. If they say, oh, I got a good result, then it's like, okay, man, so like out of curiosity, like if you got a good result last time, was you even looking for like more advanced help? And again, all we're doing pre-handling. Why not just go with them again? Oh, well, because I feel like we had a plateau, like we got good results, but now we kind of can't go any higher, so now I'm looking for like external help. Great, now we just pre-handled that objection. So that's all we need. So now no matter where they went in this path, we've now pre-handled every objection that could have come up from that. Great, so now we can move on to the next section, right? And again, that's right there. What prevented you, so what shifted now, right? Next is we need a future base. So now we're done with the identity shifting and the pre-handling. Now we need to go into the dream state future base. And I'll explain this with a graph as well. That way you guys really understand how this works. In sales, if we think about a graph of emotion being the y-axis, and time being the x-axis, and the time is the beginning of the call to the end of the sales call. The emotion, if we go up here, obviously it's higher emotion, happiness, etc. Down here, it's pain, etc. Right? You get the idea. So in a sales call, intent and logical certainty, it's pretty neutral. Then logical certainty dips a little bit down because we're getting them into the problems, expanding the pain, etc. So it's a little bit down. In identity, pre-handling, etc., it's still a little bit down, not much of a change. From there, we go into the future pace, the dream state. So now we're going really, really high with the dream state, and then we go to the consequence, which is all the way down here. Now, the reason we do this is very, very intentionally. Whenever we contrast this massive good feeling of like, oh, I'm gonna feel amazing, everything's gonna be great, and we immediately contrast that with the consequence of, oh, I'd feel like shit, everything would be terrible, etc. That contrast, the difference between the two in such a short period of time is what creates the urgency of like, okay, I actually need to change something now, right? I need to change something now. I can't push it off, right? And the reason we just don't do this at the beginning of a call is because imagine if at the beginning of the call, you start asking them about all their dreams and their goals and ambitions, we haven't built enough trust to actually deserve to get those answers. So they're not gonna give them to us. That's why we have intent and logical certainty to build a little bit of trust, and then we go all the way up and then all the way down. So from here, now I'm gonna show you the exact questions you need to actually future base and get that dream state. So we start with this. Let's say there was a way of, I guess, possibly helping you with actually like losing that weight faster, like getting in better shape. What would tangibly be, I guess, like different for you, like at that point? Now, right there, they're gonna tell us, oh, well, I could lose weight faster so then I'd be able to play sports with my kids again. Like right now, I can't really play sports with my kids. Now, from here, that's technically considered one tangible. However, it is not deep enough because humans know that there is emotions attached to images, to scenarios. For example, if I tell you right now, think about the worst memory you have, the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your entire life. You're gonna feel a negative emotion attached to that. And the reason why is because, again, humans in psychology, whenever we imagine an image or a scenario, something that's happened, we feel an emotion attached to that. So as soon as they tell us, well, I mean, I could play sports with my kids again. Now we need to create the image around it. So we go, okay, and like what sport would you want to play though? Oh, well, I want to play soccer. Okay, and is there like a field nearby? Like where would you actually play? Oh, well, I'd play here. Great, again, now we're making them visualize the scenario. Now, after we do that, in order to get the next specific is we go, okay, man, and I guess besides like being able to play sports with your kids, and I love that, by the way, it shows you're a great parent, like what else would you actually be able to do? Like being able to lose that weight quicker and actually get rid of it. Like what would actually be like different about your life like at that point? Oh, well, I'd have more confidence. So like at work, I feel like I could perform a lot better. Great, and then now we're gonna make them visualize the scenario even deeper. Well, what do you think would actually be different at work? Oh, well, I'd feel more passionate, like I could work on this one project that I have and it would be more efficient. Oh, and like more efficient, like how fast do you think you could kind of like get done with it at that point? Oh, I could finish it in 3 months, supposed to take 6 months. Great, again, all we're doing, going back to the whiteboard, is we're creating this high peak emotion, this emotional state. Now from there, to solidify it, we just go, okay, man, like that version of you that's actually able to lose the weight faster, able to play sports with his kids again, be more efficient at work, feel that passion. Like step into those shoes for a second. What would that do for you like personally though? Oh, well, I mean, I'd feel amazing. Like my life would be completely different. Again, now we're just solidifying that emotion. And now that we've created this peak state all the way up here, oh, I'd feel amazing, everything would be great. Now we immediately consequence them, bring them back down to reality because that's what builds the gap, which creates the urgency. So here's what that sounds like. And on the flip side, like what happens if you don't? Like what actually happens if we continue on the current trajectory with the same skill set, the same mindset that put us in this position of not losing the weight, not being able to play those sports with our kids, and not feeling that passion, that confidence for the next 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, even 2 years, man? Like what would it mean like at that point? Oh, well, I mean, at work, like I wouldn't be as productive anymore. Like I'd keep feeling slow during the day. I would have the joint pain. And then again, what do we need to do? We need to create an image, a scenario around that. So they go, yeah, I would have that joint pain. Oh, like what joints are actually hurting for you now? Oh, well, like my knee, it's like, it pains me when I walk, like at the end of the day. And how does it actually pain you? Oh, well, X and Y and Z. And what does that, I guess, like prevent you from being able to do? All we're doing, again, we're just getting them to visualize this scenario of continuing to have these problems and the emotions that would be attached to that. And then again, we do that for 2 to 3 tangible, specific consequences, and then we bring it all together again. And how would you like feel at that point, like that version of you? Oh man, I mean, I would feel like shit. Like I'd feel pain everywhere. I wouldn't be at my peak anymore. Like it would not be good. Great. So now we've gotten the scenario and attached the emotion. So again, going back to the board, what have we accomplished at this point? At the beginning, we went through the intent stage. We got the focus off of us and got a problem. Amazing. Then we went to logical certainty where we uncovered the root cause, attach it to the problem to naturally in psychology, make them want to push away from it. Then we got the actual problem itself. Then from there, we probed into it to make it a bigger problem, to make them really feel more urgency to actually want to change it. Then we future paced them all the way up to this peak emotion. Oh, it'd be amazing. Everything would be great. Then immediately brought them down to reality with the consequence. Oh, well, I'd feel like shit. Everything would be terrible, etc. So now with this gap, we've now created the urgency to change. And so now we go into the last stage, which is the pitch. Now, in the pitch, there's kind of 2 sections if you really think about it. So number 1 is commitment to change. So now we have the emotion. Now we need to get them to direct this emotion into one place. And that one place needs to be their willingness to actually make a change and do something about their problems. After that, we can go into the pillars. So we have a 3-pillar system. I'll show you exactly how to do that. And then from there, we get them to sell themselves, which we'll go into in a second as well. And you don't got to pause it and read the questions because I'll do it with you. Don't worry about it, right? So here's how we started off. Now they just told us all these consequences, all these issues and everything else. Then we go, okay, so this sounds like an obvious question, but I mean, it's really not. Like, are you willing to like settle for that though? Oh, well, no, obviously not. Like, I'm not willing to settle for that. And why now? Because like, there's always the new year, new me guy. Like, start out on a Monday. Why not just keep doing what you've been doing? Why actually draw that line in the sand? Like, make that change like now then. Now, obviously, you can change the wording a little bit. Like, the key is where you're getting them to commit is like, I need to make the change now. It's not a future thing, right? Oh, well, I mean, like, dude, like, I've been doing it for so long. Like, I feel like the longer I go on, it's just going to become a bigger problem and I'll never be able to solve it. Great. And like, whose responsibility do you actually feel like it is though? It's like, actually make those commitments to make that change in your life. Then from here, now we've made the commitment to change. So now we go into the transition. So based on what I've heard, man, of like you speaking about like not really being able to lose the weight as fast as you want, which is like not really allowing you to play the sports with your kids and kind of get those promotions, etc. I think what we're doing for sure could help you. If it would be appropriate from here, we can kind of put a game plan together of like how you could actually get to that goal of like losing the weight, being able to play sports with your kids again, the soccer, the field nearby, etc. Would that be appropriate, or what do you want to do? Oh yeah, that would be amazing. Now they've given you permission to actually pitch, give them the presentation, and so now we can go into the 3 pillars. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a very, very short summary of how to do the 3 pillars. It's very, very different depending on the type of prospect you're speaking to, but also depending on even the offer, the industry that you're selling in. But the basic structure for it is you look at your offer and you go, okay, what are the 3 main things in here that give them the biggest results? For example, in the high ticket industry, very often it's gonna be course, coaching, community, right? Those are the 3 biggest things. And then here's the structure for how you actually present the pillar. You go, so the first pillar, man, is gonna be the coaching. And the reason why is because you know you mentioned like X and Y and Z problem earlier. So what we do to actually help you with that is, and then a summary of how the coaching actually works, and you tie it into their problem. Because this is gonna make them feel like, okay, this thing, like it's actually made for me. This isn't some random thing. Like this is like, I need to do this. And then after you've said that, then you close it off with, do you follow? Or does that make sense? Or do you feel like that'd be helpful for you? You get the buy-in, and then you go into pillar 2 and then pillar 3, obviously. Now, again, it's very, very difficult for me to show you exactly word for word how to do it because it depends on the prospect, the industry, the offer, and everything else. But if you look in the description below, I'm gonna leave the link to the Impact Team group. That is the mission that we created on a mission to make real sales education accessible to everybody. So in there, we're gonna have all of our scripts, modules explaining much more in depth. This is the surface stuff. Much more in depth, the psychology behind it, absolutely everything. Offers you can start selling for completely for free, regardless of your experience, as long as you put in the work. And even we run live coaching calls in there for free. Again, all this for free. That's our entire mission. So go in the description below, click in there, I'll see you on the other side, but we have specific examples where you can even see how we pitch live on a call, closing a 16K PIF, a 10K PIF, etc. So just go in there, check it out, I will see you in there. After we pitch the 3 pillars, now we go into the selling themselves stage. So here's what it looks like. We pitch, now we go, and based on kind of what we covered, man, like do you actually feel like this would get you to that goal of like being able to lose the weight, get in better shape to where you can actually play sports with your kids, etc.? Well, yeah, I feel like it would. Oh, okay, and why though? Just so I understand. Like, what do you feel would actually be the most helpful for you? Oh, well, you know, like the coaching, having like the accountability, like I feel like it'd be amazing for me. Okay, man, so the total investment to actually get you in that position where you can lose the weight, get the accountability, the fitness plan, everything else, so you can be able to like play sports with your kids again, be more efficient at work, is gonna be 10 grand. How would you like to proceed? Great, so now we've tied it all back together. Now we've price dropped, we've pitched, and then from here, all you have to do is go into objection handling. So I hope that was helpful, guys. Again, the reason I have so much passion, so much energy for this is because it's changed my life to a degree you cannot even imagine. Again, I made $220,000 profit last month on the month that I turned 18. My business partner, Yash, he made 120 grand a month in straight commission selling at 12% income, not cash collected, income at 18 years old. Even growing the Impact Team community from 0 to 20,000 members in like 4.5, 5 months, and seeing people, even like Hunter Klassen, for example. He came and visited me in Houston last week, but last month was his 5th month on the current offer that he's on, a fitness offer, and he made $105,000 in straight commissions. That's where my passion and my conviction comes from, is the fact that it fucking works and it's so simple, it's so easy to do it. So if that was helpful, guys, again, click in the description below. That group is gonna be in there. It's completely free. We're all going at it together. We're not just some gurus looking down on you guys like, do this, do this, do that. No, we're in there in the trenches with you guys every single day. So click in there and hopefully I will see you on the other side.